Hello and welcome back. We are about to start turn 10 of Don't Tread on Me. But as always, there's a couple of small corrections to make. I don't have to involve any time travel in this one, so we won't see the custodian of eternity here, thankfully. Very minor corrections, and those corrections are... And you'll remember that the end of last turn, end of turn 9, was redone to properly do the major campaign, and you got to see just how powerful a major campaign can be. And in fact, it was more powerful than we thought, or than I thought, because once that major campaign went into New York, we had two battles in New York. We had a battle in the frontier and a battle in Hudson Valley. We had battles throughout New York. But so the battle result for the frontier was defender eliminated. In fact, all the battles we had in New York, the results of the battles were all defender eliminated. And I had said that that the British units, because they were in strongholds, could retreat to Long Island Sound. Well, that's not true. They can only retreat if they're retreating to the Long Island Sound. They were not retreating. It was not a defender retreats result. It was a defender eliminated result. So this unit, instead of retreating into Long Island Sound and me landing him, actually should be in the prisoner of war box. And the other unit that was in here was removed from the game anyway. But he would have wound up in the prisoner of war box, only to be removed in the random events phase. So that worked out okay. So really, we have no units in New York or New England. It's completely wiped of all British units. What that does mean also is that because we did not control, or since New York was in contested mode, I didn't move down their loyalty any. But since it really was all New York, it should have gone down 1. So I'm going to correct that now. And I believe, and I don't, let's see, I think... Yeah, so I was seeing if it cost. It doesn't cost anything to land these guys. That's what I was looking at. So I wouldn't get £1 back, which would have been nice, but we'll leave that like it is. So that's it. That's the only thing that needed some correcting. So I think we're good now. So we're going to start turn 10. So what that means is we move our turn marker to 10. And you can see now we are in late 1779, and it's hurricane season in the Caribbean, so that'll have an impact. We'll get to that though in a minute. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start then. So we receive our money, of course, and we get, it looks like £10 this turn, and we're at 0. So let's move this up to £10. So we now have £10 we can spend. And we're going to need that. And let's see what the news is for turn 10. Here we go. So it looks like there's 2. Let me get the rule book here. Target is New York again. I believe this will be the last time we'll see New York targeted. In fact, yeah, it will be. Carolina's coming up, and then Virginia. So, Sullivan's Expedition. General Washington sends the army to carry out the total destruction and devastation of Iroquois Indian lands and the capture of as many prisoners of every age and sex as possible. The British player must move 2 continentals from the map, New York if possible. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Otherwise, from the lowest numbered state to the rebel force pool. This sounds good. If the Mohawk Indian unit is in a state, place it in the available Indian box immediately. If the Mohawk Indian unit... Yeah, it's not in a state. I think our Indian units are... I think they're in the available Indians box anyway. So I don't think that's going to do us any good. But there are, it said 2 continentals in New York. Yeah, must move 2 continentals to the rebel force pool. Well, that's good. Not that good because the French army's still sitting there. So let's grab this Lee unit. Oops, everything's wanting to see. If I learned if you right click You can drop these units anywhere. Hudson Valley is a farms. Yeah, so that's not really going to matter here. Let's just grab these two Continental units and put them in the Rebel Force pool. So we're going to grab these two. Well, there's one, and there's two. Those were out of New York, and it said that's where we should have moved them from if we could. Well, that brings that stack down in New York just a little bit. It's not... There's still quite a stack in that Hudson Valley of New York. So it helped a little bit, but I don't know if there's a whole lot we can do about that anyway. And that was the... Where am I going? That was the first news article. And the next one is Jefferson elected, so let's go read that. Philosopher King Thomas Jefferson becomes governor of Virginia, inaugurating an age that Boatner called a pathetic spectacle of ineptitude. Put Jefferson in the Virginia leadership box. See 872. So let's go to 872 real quick. 872. So it says, this is what happens with Jefferson being in Virginia. If a battle takes place in Virginia while Thomas Jefferson is located in its leadership box, then all battles in Virginia are fought with one column shift favoring the British. Okay, we like that. That's good. We do like that. So Jefferson is still in the available units, or the out-of-play units, so we're going to grab him, and he goes to Virginia. So Thomas Jefferson is out there. And we still have, of course, Washington and Congress in New York. So, one last look to make sure that was it. I think that's all with... I think that's it with Jefferson coming out. Yep, okay, so we're good there. Those are our news items. So, let's move on along to the Smugglers Phase. And we're going to roll 2 dice to place smugglers and privateers. What do we got down here? We got a lot down here. We've got the French fleet. We're gonna have a privateer and a smuggler come out. So let's see where, if anywhere, they go. And remember that privateer has a priority over the smuggler. And we're hoping to roll at least a 2 here. So remember, you can't have 3. So that would prevent one of these from coming in. Well, looks like we do roll a 2 and a 6, so that's going to mean that the privateer is going to go to 6. Because we can't place him into... Well, we can't place... We only place one of these units, because remember, no more can go into C-Zone 2, so that only means 1 gets placed in C-Zone 6, and the privateer takes priority over the regular smuggler. So now we have, let's take a look. We've got privateers everywhere except Zone 1 and Zone 4 for now. Rebase the French fleet. This is a hurricane season, so it's going to go to Boston. The French fleet is down here. We'll place it in Boston. And now we can attack smugglers. And we have only 3 of our ships available. Let's take a look at this. I'm not too concerned about the one in Long Island Sound. But I am concerned about the one in Chesapeake Bay and Cape Fear. So I'm going to take Parker and place him in C-Zone 6. That's going to cost me 2 pounds. That'll take us down to 8. I'm going to place Howe in Chesapeake Bay. That's 2 more pounds spent. We have Graves, who I can use to shadow the French fleet, but I don't know that I need to do that with the, let's see. I can't see. One Royal Navy unit at sea may now be sent to shadow the French fleet, so I guess I can do this. I was looking to see with the French fleet being in Boston, doesn't matter. It's just going to affect the French intervention roll. Yeah, let's this is at no cost. We're going to shadow the French fleet. And that takes us down to the British ground phase. And this is not a winter turn, so there's no winter attrition. So we go right to Amnesty. So, where are we at here? Amnesty. All right, so Amnesty is the one where it's 5 or more, but that's not going to be, we each have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there'll be no amnesty for either side. So that'll take us to Paroles. And Paroles is basically where you swap equal number of units and they're freed from the prisoner of war box. So here's going to be an even swap. Everybody's going to get to leave the prisoner of war box this turn because it's 5 and 5. So we're going to take these Continentals. And they're all going to get to go back to their available pool. And then we're going to take these 5 British units will get to go to the British force available pool. So let's get them in there. And that will take us to unit purchase phase. And yeah, Hessians have to be purchased first. And of course, I'm going to I'm going to purchase and deploy these all at once. So we have 6 pounds left. Got to purchase the Hessian unit first. I know I'm going to do that, so it's going to take us down to 5. Okay. And then this blue band is going to be 3. And these other guys are all, well, this is a gold band. But it's a gold band horse, so that's not going to be 2. So all these other ones are going to be 1. He's definitely 1. He's definitely 1. And he's a gold band, but it just says that's only applies to horse units. So that would be, no, it's not a horse unit. So it's only 2. So it'd be 2, 3, 4, 5 to bring them all out. Which just so happens, that I have 5. And I know I said I like to leave 1 or 2 pounds left to do some last minute trading or moving units around, but I'm really tempted to go ahead and just spend all the money now. Let's do it. Let's just spend every bit of this. Let's get all these units back out. So it was 2 for that one and 1 each for these. So that's 5. And we already spent 1 for the Hessian unit. So let's deploy them. Yeah. So the target is New York. I don't think there's any point of trying to take back New York. I think that would be a fool's errand, especially with the French army sitting in there. And New England is interesting. There's only 2 continental armies up there. It's not going to be a target state again, though. Let's see. I am going to take... So we know that we have... we really do need to once and for all get this Cause unit at Carolina. That's not good. I can shuffle these units around when it comes time to do that, but do I want to reinforce? We also need to get these units out of Virginia, so we've got a stronghold. We've got a fort and wilderness, so I'm going to move, and again, I can move these units around as needed, so I can move these probably over here, and they're at 2 each. We've got these guys are good in. These guys are good in farm. This guy's good in. He's just average. He can go anywhere. This guy would be good in the frontier. to keep that Liberty Bell put. I need to clear out Virginia, clear out Carolina, hold Pennsylvania. I am going to place this lobster in Hampton Roads with the intent of bringing over at least one of these. And this guy is in the... Oh no, maybe I don't want to do that. This guy's in the wilderness. So... And this guy's in the wilderness. I really need to get this guy out of there. So I can move this loyalist up here. And these other guys are kind of weak there. I'm going to put this loyalist here. And... I'm going to put this Hessian unit up here. Now, you know, there's no Hessian units here, and I gotta watch these Hessian units because they are costing me loyalty points in these states when I make the adjustments. If I put him down here, yeah, let's bring this loyalist up here. We already got a Hessian down here anyway. And I'm gonna put this foot soldier here. That's gonna leave this loyalist unit. He's at 3. We got these other. Yeah, I really would like to see one more. Let's put him in here too. And I'm gonna probably move these around once we get into the movement phase. So that's gonna be my placement. Let's do that. Let's just do that. We deployed, we bought, and now we can move. And I think this is where I can move them around within a state. Any British foot or horse unit can now be moved to any county in the same state at 0 cost. Don't even have any horse units left. Yeah, I've got one up here. I don't have any. I think they're all up here. I took off the board. Let's just start in Carolina. So I can move any units around within the state. And I do want to move. I definitely want to move this guy over here. And I definitely want to move this guy. Let's get the Hessians and the Loyalist over here. Now we're going to have more Continentals coming in here, potentially. And see, I did this last turn, I remember. I didn't. I placed my my Navy and didn't fire. so let's wait and see. This might change where I shuffle these around. Let's go back and let's do that. I don't know why I did that again, but let's see. Okay, so Hal is going to see if we can get rid of the smuggler. He's going to be firing. 4 or less will remove the smuggler, and I do, so that's good. So the smuggler comes back. Hal goes back into the harbor. Down here, Parker's going to take a shot, but first, this privateer fires on a 1 to 2. Parker gets eliminated. He does not. So now Parker's going to fire back, and we want a 4 or less. We get a 1, so that's good. So that's good. See, that changes things. Definitely changes what I'm thinking here. So, when he goes back to the in harbor because he's done now. Yeah. See, so what that did now, that cleared any chance of reinforcements coming in. And there's Continentals. You just saw us place all those Continentals back in their force pool. So when we get to that phase, that changes things drastically. So I feel better about moving some of these units out, like these Hessians. I feel better about moving them out to help fight and get rid of once and for all this Kaj unit, which has plagued us for the last 2 turns. So these guys are in the wilderness. They're okay there. I'm going to swap these around. I'm going to put this guy here, this guy here. And up here, what do we got? We definitely want these two in Hampton Roads. And actually, you know what? This guy's really strong. We want him in Hampton Roads too. That's going to give us 3 British units. Yeah, and then this guy we'll put up in Piedmont because he's pretty strong there. Well, do I want to... This is what? Wilderness, right? Do I want to move one of these up into the wilderness? They're at 4 strength points. If I left these two, I would be 7 to their 4. And Jefferson's there. That's going to help us when we fight. We are in a blue die county, so that would help with, again, with retreating. If we do get to retreat, do I really want to put this guy up here? He's not helping a whole lot. If I don't, it's going to be a... We still get the Jefferson. We got him. We might as well put him up here. So it's 7. It would be 10 to 4. That's really nice. Versus 7 to 4. But if I do that, we could bring this guy back down. Is there 1 Continental in there? No, I'm going to leave him in there. Let's leave him in there. We'll see how the Battle of Hampton Roads goes. I may regret this. I was going to leave him down there, but we'll put him up here. Try to get all these continentals. We got to get these continentals out to keep that Liberty Bell from moving. Let's just do that. All right, forced march. I'm not going to do this. I could bring down. Yeah, I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to force march anybody. The horse action, I do have 1 horse unit left in Pennsylvania, and this is where I can move him to any county in any state at no cost. And of course, I can't abandon a state, and I don't think, let me look at the rules. Well, yeah, I got to watch for Lee. He's not going to be, I don't think he's going to be a problem here. No, we just put him back in the... I could move the horse unit down. Could bring him down to Tidewater. And that would give me that 3 back in here I was looking for. I mean, or Hampton Roads. That's tempting. It leaves around Philadelphia empty, but in theory, barring any more campaigns, should Philadelphia or Pennsylvania's looking okay right now. Wow. Do I want to bring that horse unit down? I guess we always move them back next turn if things go south on us. Like I said, though, I really want to get these Continentals out. Let's do it. Let's just bring him down. Yeah, the Lee unit's sitting over here, so I can do that. I can certainly do that. If not, someone will let me know in the in the comments. And then we place George Washington in the state with the most British player units. Most British player units this turn. So it's going to be one of the 3 middle states. It looks like, just from looking at the board, right off, that's got to be Virginia, right? We've got 2 here, 3 in here. That's 5, 6, 7. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. No, looks like there's just 3 there. So he's certainly going to come down here with Jefferson. So we'll move him down there, and then that'll take us to our first battle phase. Starting up north, New England. Well, there's nobody fighting in New England. There's nobody fighting in New York. There's nobody fighting in Pennsylvania. But it looks like there's some fighting, multiple fighting in Virginia. So we're going to bring our Continental out. And our British units out. Battle in the Tidewater. And remember, we have these 2. Oops. So, with my new learn how to not to snap trick, we can put those 2 out and show you that they're in the American leadership box. So, Here we go. Virginia, what's their loyalty? They are at, oh, they're at 7. Wow, they're our highest, our most loyal state right now. So they're at 7. And now we go look at our modifiers. Well, we don't get the Vermont modifier because it, well, I'll double check it. I'm pretty sure we don't. I think that only applies to if a battle occurs in New England. You think I'd have all this memorized by now? If the Vermont marker is in the pro-rebel box, then all battles fought in New York. Oh, that's a column shift. So wait a minute. So that's the column shift, but we're looking for militia. Vermont. If the Vermont marker is in the pro-British box, then add +1 to the militia roll for any battle where in New York. Well, that's not us here, so that's not going to apply. It's not a stronghold. That's not going to apply. So Jefferson and Washington. We know Jefferson's going to... He's not going to apply for the militia roll. He's going to shift the column, it sounds like. And Washington is only going to prevent that loyalty, potential loyalty increase we would get if we win this battle. So rats to that. Alright, so I'm thinking there's no modifiers to this. I think it's going to be a straight roll. I don't see any. If you see any, let me know in the comments, but probably not going to affect anything at this point. Let's clear this. So let's see. Roll for militia. Call for militia. 4. That's good. We get 1, they get 2. And remember, we are the attackers. So we're in the wilderness, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 plus 2 is... No. I wished it were 2. Oh, if that were only 2. So it's 3 plus 1 is 4. And they are defending at... They get the 2, so they're defending at 2 plus 2 is 4. So it's on the 100% column. I'm going to do this because we know I've done it every single time. So that's 100%. And we are the attackers on the 100% column. And we roll a 4. It's an exchange. So the side with the highest number of strength points wins, and that's going to be us. No, well, no, it's not. It's a tie. It's what does it say? What happens for a tie? I think it's the attacker. Let's go back to the rules. Side with the lower number of strength points is eliminated. The winning side then must eliminate the number equal. Okay. If the forces in an exchange are exactly equal, then the battle is a draw. Both sides are completely eliminated and nobody wins. Well, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, so both sides are eliminated. So that's telling me that this gets reset, but that's telling me this is an eliminated unit and eliminated for us. Wait, what? He wasn't eliminated. He was actually in the prisoner war box where he goes because we're eliminated. That's not good. So, okay. That was the battle for... Oh, you know what I didn't do? There was a column shift there. We were on this column. We rolled an exchange, right? Yeah. So Jefferson was out there. Everybody hold on. If the battle takes place in Virginia, Thomas Jefferson... it's a column shift to the right for us because we were the attackers. So we actually still got an exchange. We still got an exchange. So Jefferson did us no good there. Okay, well, at least I remembered it. And we don't have to worry about Washington because we didn't win. It was a draw. So, all right. I did that right anyway, even though I forgot and then remembered. So that's the first battle in Virginia. We'll clear that and clear that, and we'll go to the second battle in Virginia. So this is going to take place in Tidewater. And we'll bring our units out. This is where I stacked, hopefully, the odds in my favor. We'll see. Not a stronghold. I am not seeing any modifiers for militia here. But what I do see is this is a blue die county. And I think we have to check for French intervention. So let's see. Here we're going to roll one die. We get to subtract one because we are shadowing. Remember, they're in Boston. The French fleet is up here in Boston, and we are shadowing them. And so if the French fleet is in Boston, it will intervene on a modified roll 4, 5, or 6. If it's in the Caribbean, it's 5 or 6. So remember, because of hurricane season, they're in Boston. So they'll intervene on the 4, 5, or 6. But we do get to subtract one from that roll. So let's see what they get. They roll a 5, so -1. It was -1, right? Yeah, unfortunately, it's a -1 because it's not going to be enough. So that's going to give them a 4, and they do intervene. Okay. That's not good. So where do they say? They're up here. So Graves will go back to in harbor. The French fleet comes down to Chesapeake Bay. So we place the French fleet in the sea zone corresponding to the state where the battle's taking place. And next, place the French army in the rebel stack. No matter where it was on the map. So they're up here. Well, suddenly the odds shifted dramatically, didn't they? On any other roll, okay, well, it's not any other roll. The French fleet remains, I don't care about it either. And it's telling me they can not deploy in the long run. Alright, so bad luck for us. The French fleet is intervening. The French army is showing up. So that's going to change things a wee bit. And we are in a stronghold here, so they do get their full 8 strength points added to this. But we're attacking, so let's see what happens here. Clear that. Yeah, it's just going to be a straight roll on the 7 line. So we're attacking. So it's 4, 7, 10. Well, I didn't roll. What am I doing? Getting ahead of myself. 6. We get 2, they get 1. We like that. So now let's add up these numbers. So it's 7, 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. So we're attacking at 12. They are defending at 8, 10, 12, 13. So 12 divided by 13 is 92%. So that puts us on the 65% column. But hold your horses. Jefferson's there. So Jefferson will cause a column shift to the right. Puts us back in that 100% column, which is slightly better for us. And we attack. So please, please, please. We want to see a 6 on this attack. Let's see what we get. Wow, I felt like I must have used the Jedi mind trick there when I said we needed a 6 on attack, because that's what we got. That is awesome. Defender is eliminated. Wow, our die rolling here, our luck is continuing. That's huge. Defender is eliminated. So, okay. So for the French army, what does that mean? Where does that go? I don't think I've ever eliminated the French army yet, have I? Let's see what it says. Eliminated units. Let's see. All right. I'm sorry. I got carried away. I was looking at something else. Pay attention. Okay. Eliminated units. If they are continental, French, or British, they go to the prisoner or war box. So, the French go to prison. And so do these Continentals. But we don't. We go back to the Hampton Roads. I can't believe I did that. This gets reset. And we would have gotten a loyalty increase there, but Washington's sitting in Virginia, so we don't get that. That's okay though. I'll take what we did get. That was awesome. That worked out really good. Wow, we're approaching the 4th of July and everything, and the poor rebels just couldn't catch a break there. Alright, so that was the battles in Virginia, right? I don't see any more. French fleet sits here in Chesapeake Bay, and we keep moving right along. So we go down to Carolina now, where we had this cause unit that's been giving us trouble for the last couple of turns, maybe more than 2 turns. Let's see if we can get rid of him. We've got a whole lot of... Oh, I didn't realize I'd put 4 units in there. We got a whole lot of British units in the over-the-mountain county in Carolina. So Carolina currently sits at 4. And this was in the lowest county. It's in the wilderness. It's not a stronghold. We're not going to get any kind of modification here either. Pluses or minuses. Looks like it's going to be a straight roll. So, a straight roll on, I did say on the 4, right? A straight roll on the 4 would give us, let's hope for another high number, a 4, which isn't bad. So that's, we get 1, they get 2. Okay. We are attacking, and it's in the wilderness, so it's 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right. 6 plus 4 is 10, 11. So we're at 11, and they are at 2 plus 2 is 4. 11 divided by 4 is 275. So we round down. So we're on the 200% column. And we attack. And we get a 4, which is a defender retreats. Well, that's good, with the possibility of pursuit. So this defender is in this number 1 county of Carolina, so I think that's going to be good news for us. Well, let's go to the priority. Okay, retreat to a county containing only friendly units. They can't do that. Retreat to an empty county. They can't do that. Retreat to a county containing units of both sides. They can't do that. They can't go anywhere. So they would be eliminated, except this did take place in the wilderness, so, or the lowest numbered county. So rebel forces aren't eliminated. They get to scatter into the woods. So we have to place that cause unit into the rebel force pool. Well, at least it gets them out of Carolina. So they're going to come down here. We'll take that. We will take that. And so we won a battle in Carolina. That's going to move Carolina's loyalty up to 5. And we take all of these units and take them back into the over the mountains county. And I am hesitating again because I'm hesitating because there were Hessians there, and I think the Hessians would have given us a -1 on our call for militia after all. So let me just see what would have happened. We rolled... I can't remember what we rolled. It wouldn't have mattered a whole lot. We still would have rolled... did we roll a 4 or 5? I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. We did get 1. They got 2. So at best it would have brought it over down to... We would have gotten... We have got nobody, I guess. So I don't know if that would have really wouldn't have affected. I don't think it would have changed anything. We're gonna let it stand. We're gonna let that one stand. All right, so the battle marker's back. Our guys are back in Carolina, and I believe that's gonna do it for this first battle phase. So that'll move us into the place rebels phase, right? And we'll do one last double check here to make sure there are no more valid battles left, and there's not. So let's go ahead and go into form our committees of safety. So that's going to be, oh, that's where we're going to roll 2d6. Well, I don't think it's roll 2d6. I think it's roll. All right, let's look that one up. Let's go to the rule book and place guys. So we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll 1d6 on 1 of 5. He's gonna go to a randomly selected county in that state, and then if we roll the target state, then it looks like they'll get 2. So let's see where. Let's grab a cause unit and see where he goes. Let's see. We roll a 4, so that is state 4, Virginia. So he's going to go into Virginia, and this will be randomly placed in Virginia. 5, so that's going to be in Hampton Roads, I believe. Yep. So this cause unit goes into Hampton Roads. And now we're going to place our Continentals. And yeah, I was just looking at the rules there. They were talking about let's shuffle these two. The rules were talking about if there's no Continentals left in there, then you have to adjust loyalty. But we're not to that point yet. So so it's the same thing. We're going to grab a Continental and randomly place the Continental in a state. So let's see what we roll. 2. That is, he's going to go into New York. Oops, New York. And where does he go in New York? County 4. So he's going to go into the Hudson Highlands over here. And that's going to be that. Clear that. And now we go to move George Washington. So George is going to go to the state now with the most continental units. Right, yeah. So it's the middle states again. And it's going to have to be New York because there's 3 there. So he's going to go to New York. And, okay. Turn Benedict Arnold. Well, I think he's already been that. We've already gone through all that. He's already out of the game. So we go to the second battle phase. And none in New England, none in New York, none in Pennsylvania, but there is another one in Virginia. Lots of battles in Virginia this time. So let's do it again. And we bring out our units. Now, again, we're looking at, this is a blue dice county again, so can the French intervene? Can they come out of the prisoner war box and intervene? No, aha, unless it's in the prisoner war box. So I guess we still roll to see if they're going to intervene. I don't think a whole lot's going to happen if they do. All right, we'll go through the motions here because they're in prison. So the French fleet... So, but I don't know what the die roll would be because the French fleet was in Chesapeake Bay and we haven't rebased them. I'm just going to treat this as a Not an event, because that army's up in the prisoner war box anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, no intervention. There's going to be no modifications, no Hessians are in the battle. It's not a stronghold. It's not New York. Jefferson's going to cause a column shift, so it looks like a straight roll on Virginia's loyalty of 7. All right, so let's see. Call for militia is a 2. They get 2, we get none. That wasn't very good. Okay, well, we'll take it. So we are, wish we were attacking. They are attacking. And so, well, actually the Jefferson thing here is a little different, I believe. I think it's going to shift it the other way. It's in our favor, right? So for Virginia are fought with 1 column shift favoring the British. So yeah, it's going to get shifted to the left, whatever they get here. So that's good. They're attacking in a fort, so they're attacking at 1 plus 2 is 3. And we are defending at 1, 6, 10. So we are at 10. I don't think we're going to be able to shift it any further over than where it's going to be. It's going to be here. Can't get any lower. And let's see what they do. Hopefully they roll a 1. Oh, they roll a 6. So it's an exchange. But that's good because it's pay attention to the strength points. The side with the lower strength points is completely eliminated and loses. So they had 3 strength points. So this guy goes back into the force pool and I'll reset that. So they had 3. We've got to eliminate 3 now. So, and by eliminate, that means they go to the prisoner war box. So let's take this guy out and leave these 2 in Hampton Roads. Logic being that it is a fort, and he's got a strength 4, and this guy is a horse unit, so he can move around if need be. Now, loyalty, we won the battle. So I think we do get the loyalty increase in Virginia because Washington's not there anymore. So Virginia will go up to 8. I don't know how they got over there, but we're going to move it back over there. So we do get the loyalty increase, and the battle is over. All right. Well, at least the one in Virginia for now is over. And that'll take us down to Carolina. I do not see any battles to be fought there, so I think that's going to do it for the second battle phase. And now we get to the dread conduct rebel campaign phase. And here we're going to roll 2d6 again and see what happens. Oh boy. We get 3 and a 3. That's not what we want to see because I believe that means there's another major campaign in Pennsylvania. This may not be good at all. So, roll 2 dice for the 2 states chosen. If the roll is doubles, 1 major campaign occurs in that 1 state. So, ouch. Back-to-back major campaigns. This is state 3, so we're going to have I'll just mark it here so we don't forget. We're going to have a major campaign in Pennsylvania. Let's clear that. Okay, here we go. Here we go again. So we're going to let's do the reinforcements first, and both these reinforcements will go to the same state because it is a major campaign. So let's grab a Continental. And it's not a random placement. This will be a very specific placement. So let's go to that. So first you look, it goes into the lowest number rebel occupied county. There's no lowest number rebel occupied county, so it will go in the lowest numbered empty county. Well, we had Philadelphia is empty now, so that's where these will go. In Philadelphia. All right. Okay, so we continue on. We placed our reinforcements. We checked to see if it is augmented by extended support. So this is going to be interesting. We now this extended support. If a major campaign occurs in one state, then all of the states, not Quebec, are checked to see if they can provide extended support. Every state containing only rebels moves all of its rebels into its own critical county. So they're already there in New England, and we said in New York the critical county is Hudson Valley, so we put them all in there, and it's really just those two states that we have to worry about right now. So if there are more than 2 rebel units in the state, then we leave 2 of them behind, randomly pick Continentals, otherwise it's cause units, and then the rest of the rebels in that state are added to the rebel stack in the major campaign state, and then we fight a major campaign. So starting with New England, I really only wanted you guys to see how how bad a major campaign could be once, not twice. So okay, there's only 2 Continentals in New England, and those are the same 2 left over from that last turn's major campaign, so they can't leave. We got to leave 2 behind. So we go to New York, and here, and these are all cause units, I believe. They are. And then so 2 of these, we have to leave behind 2 Continental units. So only one of these is going to go. And they're sitting here in Hudson Highlands, and they're going to end up in a stronghold county. I mean, not a stronghold county. They're going to end up in a town or a fort. So it's going to be the last strength one. Let's leave these 2 behind and bring this guy down. Oops. And all of these cause units. All of these cause units come down to support this major campaign. So we left our 2 behind here. We left our 2 behind there. Is there anything else? No, not a planned operation, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we just go back to our regular attack sequence. Yeah. Okay, so if both side units are in the state, rebel units in the state will attack the British units using that same mole attack protocol that we've always used. So, and that's in rule 11.1 they're telling us. So they're going to attack British units already in the same county. No, because they're in an empty county. So they will attack the nearest British forces to the left. So they're going to go left first. These poor little Hessian units are going to take the brunt of this attack. So they're going to march into this lowest numbered county. So we'll put our Hessian unit in. Get all of these cause units out. And there's 6 of them. Wow, all right. No, there's 7, it looks like, because they got reinforced. So there's another one. So they're marching into here. Okay. All right. And we are in the wilderness, and we're in Pennsylvania, which is currently sitting at 2 loyalty. We are going to make the militia roll. The only modifier here is going to be this Hessian unit. That's going to give us a -1, I believe. Militia modifiers. -1 to militia roll for Hessians. Yep. And that is it. So we're going to get a -1 for that. So let's roll on the 2 column. We'll subtract 1 for our Hessians. Oh, good. So 5. We get 1, they get 2. Not too bad. And they attack. So they're attacking in the wilderness. Holy moly. Let's add this all up. Wilderness, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So we're hammering home again just how bad these major campaigns can turn out for the British player. So it's 20, and we're defending at 3 plus 1 is 4. 500%. Okay, so they are attacking at 500%, and they roll a 6. Defender eliminated. Pennsylvania, yeah. So this Hessian unit goes to the prisoner of war box, and they win the battle in Pennsylvania, that first battle anyway. So Pennsylvania is going to, we're going to lose another loyalty point there for that loss. And now, if you remember, they pivot and, according to the attack protocol, attack nearest British forces to the right. So they're going to now march into Quaker County. So the battle will now take place there. Let's reset these. I think our new militia call will be on 1 now. So we drop their loyalty. This stack is now in Quaker County. This Hessian unit is going to defend. So this is Quaker County, so there'll be no modification to the... Actually, I don't think there's even... it's been a while since we did this. Oh, let me go check. I don't think there's even... I think it's going to be no militia. No militia show up at all. I believe that's the way this works. It's going to be whatever we get. No militia areas. Do not roll for militia. Proceed without the without militia being present. So yeah, no roll for militia. So it's whatever they get. And they get. Let's add it up. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So they're attacking at 8. Oops. They're attacking at 18. We're defending at no. Nope. We're in farmland now, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it should be at 11. And we're defending at 3. That's a little better. Not a lot better. It pushes them a column down anyway. And so they attack. And they roll a 6, which is not good. Now they're rolling high. That's defender eliminated, so this Hessian unit goes to the prisoner of war box. And they won the battle, so that's another loyalty decrease in Pennsylvania. Oh, now they're at rock bottom. That'll bring this back to 0. So, remember, they're still marching on their major campaign. Now they're going to go into New Jersey. So they will come into New Jersey, and no modifiers here, no Hessians. It's not a stronghold, not Quaker County. So there will be a call for militia. It'll be just a straight roll on the 0 line. And we get a 2. We get nothing, they get 3. And we are still in farmland, so it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 3 is 14. And we are defending at, where do we go? We're defending at 1. 14 divided by 1 is a very large number, so let's see what they get. Yikes. 6. Well, that's a defender eliminated yet again. So this guy goes into the prisoner of war box. And that's that. They get another decrease for Pennsylvania, but it can't go any lower. Battle marker comes back, and all these units end up in an empty Pennsylvania for us. So they eliminated all of our units that were in there. So for the second time, let's just get this over here. For the second time, you got to see how powerful a major campaign can be. And believe me when I say, I really only wanted you to see that once. So unless I did something horribly wrong there, and I have to go back in time to correct it, that was another horrible, 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 horrible thing to happen for us. Yeah, so... Well, the good news is that ends the conduct rebel campaigns phase. Okay. That'll take us down to the logistics phase, so... No more battles, right? Nope, we're looking good there. So trading with the enemy would be nice, but I can't do it because I've spent all my money. So we go into naval transport, which A would be nice if I could do it, but I don't have any money, so I can't do it. And there's no point in doing it anyway. I don't see anybody that needs any help out there. So that takes us to Naval Reset, where we can take all of our frigates and put them back out to sea and hope they stay there, barring any random events. Reconvene Congress. No, it's still sitting in New York. And that takes us to the Liberty Phase. Liberty Phase, Continental enlistments expire. Not this turn, they don't. And we simply go to determine where that Liberty marker goes. So you'll remember that I have to control the current target state, which I do not. So no point in checking further for the Liberty Bell movement. So let's just, for fun, look. I have two states, so it wouldn't matter if it wouldn't matter. Well, it would have mattered if I had New York. We would have prevented this because we would have had Virginia and Carolina. So yeah, if I'd held on to New York, which if I recall was impossible anyway, because remember we had that huge stack sitting in there prior to this major campaign. So the Liberty Bell, unfortunately, is going to move to 4. Dong. Okay. And now we perform our last minute state loyalty modification. So looking at New England, it is controlled by the rebels. So New England cannot go any lower. New York is controlled by the rebels, so it will drop down one more. Pennsylvania is controlled by the rebels. It's already at 0. Virginia is, we control it, and there's no Hessians, there's no nothing. So Virginia will actually rise by 1 to 9. Jefferson's sitting there. Wait a minute. I don't think he affects this. Actually, I think he does. I think I think Congress, Jefferson, or Washington, I think would stop that. I think it's a -1. Yep. Yeah, if Jefferson's in a state, then reduce it by 1. So actually, Virginia would just stay even. And then we go down to Carolina. We do control it, so it's +1, but there is a Hessian unit sitting there, so it is -1. So no change in Carolina. They'll sit at 5. All right, well. Okay, and then we don't care about Quebec. Check for victory or defeat. Well, we're still a ways from defeat. The Liberty Bell is rising, but it's only at 4. Only at 4. Let's keep telling ourselves that. So let's go to random events. Random events. And remember, we're going to roll 3d6 here to see what happens. So here we go. And what do we get? 7, 8, 9. So we're at 9 on the random events chart. Okay, well, I seem to be getting... All right, Southern Reactionaries. I feel like we just have this one. Maybe not. Yeah, I think we just had this one. So, decrease Virginia and Carolina's loyalty by 1. We don't want it's decreasing at all. So, Carolina goes down by 1, and Virginia goes down by 1. I think this will increase, though, New York and New England's, right? So increased New England and New York by +1. So they come from rock bottom. So these got New York goes to +1. New England's now at +1. Then we roll for Pennsylvania, and if it's even, it will give us a +1. Clear. So we roll. We get an odd number, so it stays at 0. And that's the Southern Reactionaries event. Then we go to Hessian atrocities. Atrocities. And I think this is specific to Hessian units, and I believe it's a randomly picked state. Let's see. Randomly pick one state that has at least one of those armies in it, and reduce the loyalty by, oh wow, -2. Randomly pick a state that has at least one. So I have to pick a state here. So I think we only have one state. I guess if we have one state, we have to pick that state. The only state that has Hessians in it, which is what we rolled for, Hessian unit, is Carolina. Oh boy, this hurts. So I have no need to roll. It's just going to be Carolina. We're just going to have to reduce Carolina's loyalty by 2 more. So there you go, from a 4 to a 2. Okay. And ships of the line sent abroad. Okay, so that one is where we lose one of our strength 4s. That goes back to the In Harbor. Ugh. Not what we needed. So one of our strength 4s, we'll take Parker, and he goes to In Harbor for the next turn. Smallpox. Did we? I swear we had the same event last turn. We know that smallpox isn't as bad because the Continental armies have all been inoculated for it. So with this event, first remove all Indian units. There's not any out there, so we don't have to do that. Then roll a die for a state. 6 is Quebec, so let's roll a die for a state. We get 1, so that's going to be New England. New England, and this event hasn't been all that great for us anyway. Nothing spectacular has ever happened from smallpox for us. So in that state, remove all Loyalist, Cause, and Continental, not French units. Well, not Continentals either, because they had been inoculated. So remove all Loyalist, Cause. There's nobody in there but Continental, so nothing happens here. So yeah, they're immune. They sit there. So nothing happens with that Continental army. That's why you get your vaccinations. You want to be inoculated against these diseases, right? No Vermont check because Congress is in New York, so Vermont's going to stay pro-British. So that's going to end the random events phase. Fortunately, because that wasn't very good. And that's going to take us to the end of turn 10. So let's take a step back here for a moment and look at the board. And do a little housekeeping. Clear this. Clear all the dice. So, end of turn 10. That was not good. And so you're probably, this July 4th is coming up, and this video will probably be posted July 3rd, so maybe it's fitting that the rebels went on a major campaign and took Pennsylvania from us. I don't know. Maybe they're just, it's rallying. It's the spirit of July 4th. So yeah, we had 2 major campaigns back to back, and those top 3 states have been swept of all British presence. That's not looking too good. Looking ahead, turn 11, we can see that Carolina is going to be the next target state, which, you know, we're pretty well stocked up on armies down there, but their loyalty plummeted this turn all the way down to 2. I don't like that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens now that the rebels are slowly pushing their way down the eastern seaboard and driving out the British. This was not a good turn for us. So we had 2 what I consider bad turns. And like I said, normally I see this sort of thing happen Early in the game, not this late in the game. So that is going to do it for turn 10. And when we come back, we will see what happens with turn 11. Hope you've enjoyed watching this. Remember to, as always, go to Armchair Dragoons and check out the forums there. Armchair Dragoons is having a virtual convention coming up. So there's some online sessions of various games. Go to the website and check it out. You can still register. I think it's $2 to register for that and participate in it. There's going to be some, I think they've got several games running. There's, I think, some interviews. There may be some just some lectures they have going on. Go check out the site. Go see what's going on, and definitely do that. And also, I've posted another game. I've posted a game from 1980, McPherson's Ridge. The first turn is out there. So if you haven't looked at that yet, go check it out. I actually played through the first turn of that, so that's going to be interesting too. Move us ahead a little bit forward in time to the Civil War. So, all right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.